Hi, Mia. May I help clear this path for you?
I can't pay, son. The fine already cleaned me out.
Forget the money. I'm doing this for free as your neighbor.
For free? Son, are you serious? This is a blessing.
It's my pleasure. Everyone deserves to walk home safely.
You have no idea what this notice meant. Thank you.
As Mia looked at me with tears in her eyes and whispered that I had no idea what this notice meant to her. The heavy silence of the neighborhood was finally broken by a flicker of hope that had been missing for years, seeing her sitting slumped on those weathered stone steps. 80-year-old former home health nurse who had spent her entire career comforting others in their final hours. I realized that for her, a $2,500 city fine wasn't just a financial burden. It was a heartless assault on her dignity. Mia had once been the person everyone relied on for strength, but now her own fragile bones were betraying her, and her trembling hand, which should have been at rest, instead clutched a cold final notice that threatened the only home she had ever known. The Florida sun beat down on the thick, knee-high weeds that had aggressively swallowed her front walkway, turning her sanctuary into a visual prison that marked her as a target for a city system that prioritized law and height over human lives. The authorities in Jacksonville didn't care that she struggled with severe osteoporosis or that her children lived 1,000 miles away. They only cared about the rigid aesthetic of the street and the penalties they could impose on a woman who was already suffering in silence. Since she had grown too frail to manage the property alone, the home her husband had left her had become a source of crushing anxiety, a daily reminder of her powerlessness against time and a bureaucratic system that offered no help, only demands. When I told her to forget the money, I saw a weight lift off her shoulders that I suspect had been there since her husband's passing. As the roar of my trimmer filled the air, I began the meticulous work of reclaiming her home from the jungle of thorns and overgrown brush that had trapped her. I focused first on the jagged edges of the concrete patio, where the weeds had become so dense they completely obscured the path she needed to walk safely every single day. With every pass of the blade, the true form of the house reappeared. And Mia watched from the porch, her eyes misting with a silent gratitude that no words could fully capture. It was a restoration of more than just a yard. It was a restoration of her pride. She shared stories of the patients she used to care for, and it broke my heart to realize that a woman who had given so much of her heart to this community was being treated like a criminal for the crime of growing old by the time I finished. The transformation was staggering, and the house seemed to exhale a sigh of relief alongside its owner. It raises a painful question about our modern world, where we often value property prices more than the people who live behind the doors. Is it morally right for powerful city governments to impose massive, life-altering fines on vulnerable seniors facing physical and financial distress? Or do you believe that neighborhood rules must be enforced strictly regardless of a resident's age or health? I really want to hear your honest take in the comments below, as your voice helps us shine a light on these forgotten struggles. If you believe we need more kindness and less heartless litigation for our elders, please hit that like button and share this story far and wide. Your support is the only reason I can keep finding people like Mia and giving them back the peace they deserve.